Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on nouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts, grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of nouns. All right. So our chapter is nouns. Our subject is English language arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on is to identify nouns and to identify common and proper nouns. All right. So nouns, this is a continuation of our previous lesson, right? And in our previous lesson, we also did nouns and we specifically focused on selecting the nouns, and also we had to say which word is a noun. That is when we had to select the noun and we had to say which word is a noun. Now we are going to identify nouns and we're going to identify common and proper nouns. All right, so when it comes to nouns, right, a noun, it names a person. A noun, it names a place. It names an animal, or it names a thing, right? So nouns, it names a person. It can be nouns like girl. It can be nouns like boy, right? That is just an example. And then we have some of our nouns that, for example, names an animal. Like, for example, your duck, cats, dogs, snakes, lions, giraffes, right? Those are nouns that names animals. And then some of our nouns names places, right? For example, park and zoo, school, museum, right? So those are nouns that names places. And then some of our nouns name things, right? So it can be a hat, it can be a train, it can be a laptop, computer, books, pencils, right? Those are nouns. All right, and once again, we said a noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing, even animals, or you can just say things and animals in one go, right? And here we also have more examples of nouns that names people, like women, friend, teacher. We said girl, we said boy, that names people or person, right? Then we have nouns that names places, right? And we said places can be like the park, can be like the zoo, town, library, school, the museum. Those are places, right? And then we have some of our nouns that names things, right? So it can be things, it can be animals, right? So it is like your bicycles, horses, flowers, cat, duck, hat, train. Those are nouns that either names people, places, things, or animals, right? And so with we are going to during this lesson, we are going to identify our nouns within a sentence, and we are going to identify if it is a common noun and a proper noun. So we are now going to see what is the difference between a common noun as well as a proper noun. But before, let's go to a+students.ca, because there we are going to identify nouns. All right. All right, so once again, we see the noun is a word that names a person, place, animal, or thing. And here we have identified nouns that name people is like woman, friend, teacher. Noun that names places is town, library, park. Names things, bicycle, horses, flowers, right? That is but a few of the nouns, right? And if we were to look at an example, right, it says here, look at this activity. It says select two nouns. We need to select two of the nouns within that sentence. It says the dog swam across the large pond. So the dog swam across the large pond. We need to select the two nouns within that sentence. All right, and if we were to identify or underline our noun within that sentence, or the two nouns, right? And then we can say it is dog, which is it names a thing or an animal, like we would say, and a pond, right, which is also a thing that is identified. So that is the two nouns that we have identified. The dog swam across the large pond. Remember, we did nouns yesterday or the day before, but we only focus on the two nouns, the two lessons. So this is the other two lessons. Because remember, I don't do all lessons at once. We break down the lessons. Like if there's four lessons under one chapter, then we first do the two, and then we do the other two the next time, right? All right, so we say dog and pond, that is our two nouns. All right, so pond is a place and dog is a thing. All right, so we need to identify two nouns within the sentence that says the teacher told a funny story. So the teacher told a funny story. We need to identify the two nouns within that sentence. All right, and if we were to select two nouns, then we can say the one being a teacher, which is a person, right? And story, which is a thing, right? So that is the two nouns that we can identify within that sentence, which is teacher, which tells us about the person, right? It names a person, sorry. And then story, it names a thing, right? So that is the two nouns. Then we also need to identify two nouns within the sentence, right? It says, did your mom buy a new computer? So, did your mom buy a new computer? And if we were to identify the two nouns within that sentence, right? And then the one noun being mom and the other noun being computer. Mom names a person and computer names a thing, right? So do you see how we can identify either if it's a person, a place, an animal, or a thing, right? So that is basically how we are able to select nouns. If you select a noun within a sentence or you are told to select a noun within a sentence, just think of a noun. It either names a person, it names a place, it names a thing, and it names an animal, right? So once you basically grasp that a noun names an animal, a person, a place, or a thing, then it will be easier for you to select any nouns within a specific sentence. Because now you'll know, okay, mom is a person, teacher is a person, dog, cat, duck is an animal, computers, laptops, balls, dresses are things, right? Zoo, school, if whatever, the beach, that is places, right? As long as you know that because that is what nouns name. They name things. It's not necessarily the name of something, but it names a specific place, a thing, an animal, a person. All right, so now we're going to our test, right, where we are going to identify the nouns. All right, so we need to select three nouns, right? So we need to select three nouns within the sentence. The sentence says, "My dog chased a chipmunk in the woods." So my dog chased a chipmunk in the woods. So we need to select three nouns within the sentence. My dog chased a chipmunk in the woods. So if we identify our three nouns within the sentence, right, is a chased chipmunk woods or is a dog chipmunk woods? We need to select the three nouns. Is it option one, which is chased chipmunk woods, or option two, which is dog chipmunk woods? The three nouns within the sentence. And remember, a noun, it names a person, names a place, it names an animal, or it names a thing. So we need to select the three nouns within that sentence. My dog chased a chipmunk in the woods. Is it chased chipmunk woods or dog chipmunk woods? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we will go with option two, right? Because if we were to select the three nouns, then it is dog, it is chipmunk, and it's hoods. Because dog and chipmunk, right? Those are animals, and woods names a place. So well done. That is correct. Dog, chipmunk, woods. So well done. We need to select the two nouns within the sentence. We need to select two nouns within the sentence. It says, my brother broke his new kite. My brother broke his new kite. So my brother broke his new kite. So we need to select to identify the two nouns. Is it brother and kite? Option one, or option two, brother and new. All right. And if we were to choose the option where we select the two nouns, right, then we will say it is option one, which is brother and kite, right? Because brother, it names a person, and kite names a thing. So well done. That is the two nouns, which is brother and it is kite. So well done. The next one says we need to select two nouns. So we need to select the two nouns. It says the fox ran through the gate. The fox ran through the gate. Is it fox and ran or fox and gate? We need to select the two nouns. The fox ran through the gate. All right. So if we were to select the two nouns right within the sentence that says the fox ran through the gate, then we will choose fox and gate. So we will choose fox and gate. Fox, it names an animal, and gate tells us where. So it is a place. So well done. So fox and gate is correct. So well done. Option two is correct. We need to select two nouns within the sentence. It says, the shovel is under the old table. The shovel is under the old table. So if we select the two nouns, is it option one, shovel and under, or option two, shovel and table? We need to select the two nouns, shovel and under, or shovel and table. The two nouns, the shovel is under the old table. Is it shovel and under or shovel and table? All right, and if we were to select the two nouns within the sentence, then yes, we will go with shovel and table, which is option two, right? So shovel is a thing, and table basically tells us, okay, table is also a thing, or it can either tell us where. It depends because it says under the old table. So I'm not sure if it's not supposed to tell us where, which identifies a place, or table is a thing, depending. All right, so shovel and table is correct. All right, so we need to select two nouns once again. Put the candle on the table. So put the candle on the table. We need to select two nouns. Is it candle and on, or candle and table? We need to select the two nouns. Put the candle on the table. Candle on, candle table. All right, and if we choose the correct one, then yes, we will choose candle and table. So well done. That is our two nouns that we have identified or selected within that sentence. All right, so now we're going to identify common and proper nouns, right? So we said that a noun, it names a person, it names a place, it names a thing, it names an animal, right? Or you can put animals under things, right? And once we identify nouns that names a person, animal, place, or thing, right? We have our common nouns, which is our general nouns, and then we have our proper nouns, which name something specific, right? So, for example, if we look at our common nouns, so then we have common nouns. So common nouns, it names a general type of person, place, or thing. And when we talk about general type of person, place, or thing, then instead of saying Nadine, you can maybe say the lady, the girl, the woman, teacher, right? So you can generalize instead of saying specifically Nadine, specifically John, specifically Victor, specifically Lane, for example. You can say girl or boy or teacher or woman or friend, right? That is what you can name. That is general things, right? The same with animals, right? Instead of, for example, giving the name of your animal, right? Instead of saying Spotty as your animal, you can just say dog, cat, mouse, and so on. The same with things. Instead of the things, for example, you say it is your laptops and general things, your hat and your clothes or whatever, right? And then it's your places, right? General places, right? General places is, for example, instead of naming the city that you live in, you can just say city. Instead of naming the country that you live in, you just say country. Instead of saying, for example, Canada, you can say country or state. Um, Instead of naming the school, you just say school, zoo, park, beach, and so on, right? Those are general types of places, persons, things, or animal. And a common noun, it does not begin with a capital letter, right? So common nouns do not need to begin with capital letters. We do not write a common noun with a capital letter unless a common noun is the first word of the sentence. Because remember, when it comes to sentences, right, then the first word of any sentence, our sentence starts with a capital letter and it ends with an end point, right? So, common nouns we do not write with a capital letter except when it is the first word within that sentence. Then we have proper nouns, right? And proper nouns, it names something specific. So, it names a specific person, place, animal, or thing, right? And when it comes to proper nouns, right? Proper nouns, they always begin with a capital letter. Because now instead of just saying teacher, you can say Nadine. Instead of just saying boy, you say Victor. Instead of just saying girl, you say Lane, right? Instead of just saying animal, you name your dog Spotty. Instead of just saying park, you say the name of the park. Instead of just saying school, you, for example, say Canada Primary School, for example, right? Instead of just saying city, you say Chicago. Instead of just saying state or country, you say, for example, Canada or South Africa or so on, right? Those are proper nouns, which means that proper nouns, it names something specific and they always begin with a capital letter, right? And here we have an example of both common nouns as well as proper nouns, right? Same things, but one of it is general, the other one is specific. So we have common nouns on the left side and we have proper nouns on the right side. Okay, so if we want to generalize something, right, or let's say a person, then we can say boy. Boy is general, right? And as you can see, it is also written with a lowercase. So boy is like it can be any boy. If I were to say that the boy commented in the chat box, right? And three boys commented, then it means it can be any one of the three. But if I specifically want to make mention of the boy that, for example, commented, then I can say Jacob. So that is being specific. Not just talking about any three boys, I'm talking about Jacob, right? Instead of generalizing and saying that day, right? That day can be any day, right? There are 7 days in the week. It can be any day. But if I'm specifically making mention of Tuesday, then Tuesday is where we are specific, right? Then we have street, right? Street is like generalizing, right? Where I'm saying, like, no, I live in that street, right? But instead of just saying I live in that street, which can be any street because there's lots of streets everywhere, we can say I live in Elm Street, right? It specifies which street I live in. And instead of just saying that, no, I live in the city, but now you're gonna ask the person, like, you live in the city? Like, which city do you live in? Right? So instead of just generalizing and saying that I live in the city, you can say I live in Chicago, right? And that basically says what specific city you live in. All right. So once again, we have a noun that is a word that names a person, place, animal, or thing. We said common nouns names general things, right? Like general person, animal, place, or thing. And common nouns, it does not start with a capital letter unless, let's see, unless the word starts with is this the first word of the sentence, right? And then we have proper nouns that name something specific. It names a specific person, animal, place, or thing. And a proper noun, it always begins with a capital letter. All right. right, so if we look at the nouns that's in bold, right? Here we have two nouns that's in bold. We have Mr. Simon and we have house. We need to select one proper noun within that sentence. It says Mr. Simon left his house early. Mr. Simon left his house early. We need to select one proper noun within that sentence. So Mr. Simon left his house early. And if we were to choose the proper noun, then it would be Mr. Simon. It is specifically saying that this is Mr. Simon, not just the man left his house, but Mr. Simon left his house. All right, so let us go to our test, right, where we are going to identify common nouns and proper nouns within our test. We need to look at the nouns in bold and select one proper noun within that sentence. We said Mr. Simon left his house early. Is it Mr. Simon that's the proper noun or house? We need to select our proper noun. Is it Mr. Simon or house? A proper noun. All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, option one or Mr. Simon is our proper noun. We are specifically making mention of that person, Mr. Simon. Wendy moved closer to her best friend. Wendy moved closer to her best friend. We need to select the common noun. The common noun, general noun. Is it Wendy or friend? Wendy or friend? The common noun, something general. All right, and if we were to select the common noun, then it is friend. It is general. It's not making mention of the name of your friend. It can be any friend, general, any friend, right? And remember, we said common nouns. It does not start. It do not start with a capital letter. So friend is our common noun. So well done. We need to select one proper noun. The new store will open on Wednesday. The new store will open on Wednesday. We need to select the proper noun, either a specific person, place, animal, or thing. Is it Wednesday or store? All right, so if we were to select our proper noun, then it is Wednesday. Yes, so Wednesday is correct. The next one says we need to select the proper noun, right? The last game was played near Wesley Street. So the last game was played near Wesley Street. We need to select a proper noun, right? Is it Wesley Street or game? So Wesley Street or game, the proper noun. All right, and if we were to select our proper noun, then it is Wesley Street. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on nouns. Thank you very much, grade twos, for joining the class as well as for interacting. Right, our chapter was nouns, and we said nouns, it names a person, animal, place, or thing. Right, we had to identify nouns. We said a common noun, it is general, persons or people, places, animals, or things. And proper nouns are it names something specific. It's a specific person, place, animal, or thing. So thank you very much, grade twos, for joining the class. Till next time, have a good day further. Goodbye.